Over the recent weeks, we've seen our fair share of big butch vehicles on Four Wheels Good. Off-roaders, MPVs and muscle cars seem to be coming off every manufacturer's production line. So I think it's time for me to have a bit of driving fun and spend an afternoon in the country with a pair of great-looking, sporty little European numbers. Competition in the pint-sized hot hatch range is pretty fierce right now. And these two, well, they're the new kids on the block.
This is the latest addition to the Polo range, VW's Pocket Rocket. It's a 1.4-litre 16-valve bundle of fun that may well be a reincarnation of the much-loved Mark I Golf GTI. And let's not forget Citroen's new arrival to the hugely successful Saxo range. There's the 90-horsepower Saxo VTR, and this, its raciest stablemate, the performance-packed 16-valve Saxo VTS.
How will they compare in the Smiles per Mile stakes? Well, first off the mark for a zip in the countryside, I think it's the Citroen.
And here comes the boy race a bit. Both newcomers have 16-valve engines with a pair of camshafts. The Saxo's 1.6 engine gives you a hefty 120 horsepower and manages the magical 0 to 60 in a pretty impressive 7.2 seconds. The Saxo also claims the title of fastest super mini. It's capable of an amazing 125 miles per hour. The newly developed engine delivers an impressive power-to-weight ratio, and if you add that to the close ratios of the gearbox, the Saxo can make it from 0 to 60 with just one gear change. Are you smiling yet?
It may well be extremely fast, but safety is an important feature on the Saxo. Standard equipment includes twin airbags, four-wheel brakes with ABS, front seatbelt pretensioners, steel rollover protection, a pre-programmed crumple zone, and even an energy-absorbing side impact system. And security also features well. It comes with the two-way anti-theft alarm and a coded immobiliser, perfect to beat those thieves.
Equipment levels on the Saxo are high, even as standard. It comes with, well, almost everything. And if all that hasn't grabbed you, then how about the practical net on the underside of the parcel shelf to stop things moving around the boot? Any self-respecting hot hatch enthusiast would be happy to get behind the wheel of the Saxo VTS. It certainly looks the part. The long nose looks great, and those flared wheel arches house a stunning set of alloys. And the lower suspension gives it a squat, sporty feel. The Saxo will set you back just under 12 grand for this model, with the 1.6 injection VTR version being terrific value for money at just under 10,000. Fuel economy? Well, not bad, an average around town of around 34 miles per gallon.
The Saxo's driving position is comfortable and the sport-styled seats give a good ride and hold you in well. The cabin though does feel slightly cramped even though there's good headroom. And the pedals feel a bit awkward, they're a bit too close together. Everything's logically placed inside and where it should be, but the thing is it all feels a little bit dated, and it's this overload of black plastic. When a manufacturer is going to learn that a car should look just as good from the inside as it does on the outside?
So the Citroen looks great, it's fast and it's certainly safe. But is it fun, and how does it handle? Well, those generous tyres give tremendous grip and enable you to get round corners well. The power steering is responsive and the suspension soaks up any road bumps. Overall, ride quality is good, both on the open road and around town. It feels light and nimble, and the engine's ready for whatever you can throw at it. The prospect of getting into the Saxo VTS will certainly put you in a good mood for whatever journey you have to go on. Next, for me to go wild in the country in, VW's new baby, the hottest Polo of the lot. Costing £11,500, this three-door version is slightly cheaper than the Saxo, but how will it compete in the performance stakes? Well, here's the bit you really want to know. The Polo can take you from 0 to 60 in 10.5 seconds, but up to an impressive top speed of 170 miles per hour. And like the Saxo, the Polo has a 16-valve engine with twin cams that give out 100 brake horsepower.
You've got to remember that the Polo is from the home of the original hot hatch and has rather a lot to live up to. Once behind the wheel, however, you soon get a smile on your face and remember what a pleasure driving can be. It may not have the speed and acceleration of the Saxo, but it's still great fun. And the engine sounds absolutely wonderful. It's a tireless rever, not too overpowering, but if you like that sort of thing, it'll be music to your ears.
The Polo handles the road extremely well. The suspension has been lowered to make the most of its underbonnet technology, and this together with the firmer springing gives excellent steering. It goes where you want it to go, no questions asked.
The Polo is a real pleasure to drive out on the open road when that fun factor can really kick in. But having said that, the Polo won't let you down around town either. Its size, that great acceleration and the responsive steering makes driving it in town centre traffic an absolute breeze.
Looks-wise, the Polo certainly isn't as sporty as the Saxo. VW could have made it stand out a bit more, but the familiar shape of the new Polo is fun, funky and chunky. This is added to by the front and rear spoilers and the lowered suspension that shows off its alloys well. It's just a shame that it's so dull inside. Although it feels solid and everything is laid out well, it's just so functional, and we don't want functional, we want fun. Having said that, the Polo certainly has more cabin space than the Citroen, and it also boasts a high level of spec, a list as long as your arm. Now you may have spotted the driver's airbag, but you'll have to pay extra for the passengers. Come on VW, think safety. I've got to say that I like the Polo a lot. It's fun and it's certainly fast. A regular pocket rocket with a naughty but nice feel about it. Why nice? Well, the great thing is that you just can't get away from the good old VW feeling of security and reliability.
So my afternoon of fun is almost over, and I've certainly had a real smile put on my face by these two. Now the question is, which would I take home and carry on the romance with? Well, you can make a case for either of them. Each has got its own appeal. If it's performance and power you're looking for, then the Saxo has it. But the Polo really does pack a punch with its great looks, comfort and fantastic handling ability. Both vehicles are similar in price, fuel economy and equipment levels. And when things get this close, it simply becomes a matter of personal taste. And as this is the only German with a sense of humour I've met in a long time, the Polo has to get my vote.